Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the Insurance Pilot. This is our weekly series on Facebook where we try to make you an insurance-consuming expert in 5 to 10 minutes a week. And tonight we're in what used to be our dining room in my house, and we're sitting in my wife's temporary office tonight because I want to talk about in-home business exposures. I realize you may not realize that you have something that would concern you, and I'd like to start by first of all apologizing. There might be a little bit of an echo in here tonight. We don't have carpet yet. We're still working on our house, like a lot of you are. So I apologize if the sound quality tonight's not that great. But I wanted to talk to people because in-home businesses are one of those things that people never think about until it's way too late. There's an awful lot of folks that have done things that are pretty significant, whether it be scrapbooking, music lessons. There are people with, in my wife's case, she makes jewelry and sells it on Etsy, but there are people that do web design, you do bookkeeping, cleaning, lawn care. Any business that you run out of your house, if you make money, if you derive money in any way from something that maybe used to be a hobby. For example, I still teach scuba diving on occasion, and that could be an in-home business, except for the fact that I teach out of another dive shop as opposed to teaching it out of the house. But there's a lot of independent people in the gig economy now. People are running things out of their home, and they find that they don't need an office space. I want to talk a little bit about the problems that could cause for you, and as we always try to do, I want to give you some solutions. And the good news is the solutions are really, really good and very, very inexpensive. First of all, an in-home business is really anything that pays you that you do out of your house. I gave you some examples just a second ago, but just think to yourself, do you do anything that generates revenue where you don't get in your car and drive to another location? If so, you have an in-home business. And the reason this is important to you is because that, frankly, is not covered properly by your homeowner's policy. It's something that you... Brian Davidenko asked me about jelly bean coloring. I wonder, Brian, what you're doing on the weekends. We need to contact Laura and make sure she doesn't let you out unsupervised anymore. But what I want to tell you is the liability and the property side of this are going to be a little bit different. The liability side is, for my wife as an example, if she makes jewelry and let's say that she were to buy the wrong kind of findings or something. I'm sorry, I think we just got a little skip there. If she were to use findings that she were to later find out that had lead in them, they discolored someone's wrist, say a baby got a hold of something that she had made and choked, that's an exposure that someone could turn around and sue her for. Perhaps it could be something just as simple as somebody on Etsy or Amazon or Google accusing her of stealing her photos or using something, say part of someone else's logo. Things like that. You may think those are kind of ridiculous ideas, but we've had an awful lot of situations where very large corporations have come after the little guy for some fairly ridiculous things. And again, with the gig economy, if you're looking at a logo, a web page, things like that, you could be in some real trouble without even thinking about it. So if you can solve that problem very inexpensively, and I'll tell you how to do that, then you want to do that. The second part of this is the property side. There's a lot of people here that lost their roofs, lost their homes, and there are people that as part of that lost a business. We have somebody here in our neighborhood that he's one of the most extraordinarily talented woodworking guys I've ever seen. And he had an in-home shop, and he made, just beautiful pieces. I still have one, fortunately. And he lost his shop, and I don't know if he has the proper coverage. I don't know if he has a business type policy, but I suspect not. So all of his equipment that he used in business is now suspect, and he's going to maybe have a discussion that may go well with his insurance company, may not. I can tell you, your homeowner's policy, when it comes to property used in business, is going to be limited to probably either $1,000 or $2,500, depending on your policy form. You can sometimes you can increase that. Most homeowners insurance companies will not increase that because they want you to go out and get a business policy to cover your business personal property. If you think about it, it doesn't take very long, as we all know now, to get to $1,000 or $2,500. Let's say you've got a laptop, you've got a printer, maybe a router, maybe you've got some paper, some logos, some packaging, and even a little bit of stock or some other kind of equipment. If you're doing woodworking in this case, woodworking stuff that you use in woodworking, those tools are very, very expensive. And if you lose those, you're out a pretty good bit of money. What I'm going to tell you is the good news here, and I want to sort of close with this, is you can solve this problem absolutely without question for about $200 a year, sometimes less. It depends, of course, on the level of insurance you want. If you want $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in coverage, of course that gets more expensive. But if you go with even some minimal limits, say $5,000 or $10,000, you can get what is known as an in-home business policy for $200 or $300 a year. It would cover your business liability. It would cover, even if you don't think you're at risk, it hires attorneys for you, and that's become a big thing. And it covers all of your business personal property, and that's definitely something that you want to think about. Again, you may not think that you have a business in-house, but even if you don't, people my age, most of us don't, because we grew up in a traditional economy. But the gig economy and the millennials out there are doing an awful lot of things out of their home to generate revenue, and almost none of them think that it's a business exposure that they need to worry about. Again, you don't want to get sued, and if you get sued, you want an insurance company standing between you and the guy that's coming after you. And if we have another hurricane, or if you have somebody break into your house or something like that, then you want to have your stuff covered properly. And it could be just simple as you walking out of your car and dropping your laptop, or even your cell phone could be a business cell phone. A new iPhone's got to be $1,000. Do you really want to take a risk and have the chance of arguing with your insurance company about whether that's a business piece or a personal piece of property? So give that some thought. If you have any questions, you're certainly welcome to give us a call. You can call us at the office. You can talk to your own agent or your own insurance provider, and chances are they may have a good solution that's going to look a lot like the solutions we would give you. Thanks for watching as usual. We'll see you next Wednesday.